let it shine. I think I would fit right in where the sun don't shine. She's better off alone. Yeah, I ought to be working in a coal mine. Lord knows I'm good at digging holes.
Let's see what we got. I need a knife. Sorry, I decided not to put my knife in my pocket earlier, and I needed it. That doesn't normally happen. Actually, it always happens like that. What did the magical world of the internet send us today? Lots of bubble wrap. Okay, lots of cable. Real again. That's coming. We're gonna tell you all about that pretty soon, but not today. And this guy, I honestly thought this was gonna be a bigger package than it is. I guess not. It is pretty flat. So any of you that might live out in the country with horrible internet, you know our struggle. So I'm gonna attempt to do something about it with this guy. This is a Yagi antenna. It's a directional cellular Wi-Fi antenna. So we're gonna put this up. I'm gonna build a little mast off of the roof and put this up and connect it to our Wi-Fi router. And really, before I do that, what I'm gonna do is take the Wi-Fi router. Well, I can't do that. It's gotta be plugged in. I'm gonna plug this into the Wi-Fi router and just like stick it out the window and see if that helps. I don't know if this is safe or not, but also I'm realizing that these are not the correct ends to match. So that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, that's not gonna fit at all. That's gonna have to be put on hold until I can get the right connector. So instead of being distracted, let's go mess with some animals. These dogs are getting mad at me because I haven't fed them yet. So before they turn on me, let's make that happen. Hello, piggies. Hello, Mrs. Piggies. Can you tell which one we're gonna keep? We're gonna keep one of these ladies to make some, to breed to Chris McCarty. So, and we want to pick the best one so that she makes really nice piglets. Well, there's one here that is quite different than the others. In a good way. And all of the qualities about her are really nice. She's really sweet. She lets me pet her face. Not aggressive at all. One of them is a little bit aggressive. Just a little bit. But they're mostly all nice. But we're going to keep one to breed to Mr. Chris McCarty. We'll go see him in a minute. I want to see if... So lately, the cows have been super excited every time that they notice that I'm outside, especially if they hear me scoop feed. So I'm gonna scoop. I see them out there, and right now they're out there in the field eating, which is what I want them to do. But I know for a fact that as soon as I scoop a bucket and they hear it, they're gonna come running. So I want to try to get it on camera because they just gallivant coming down. They're like bucking around, having a grand old time, just so excited to make it down here. And I want to believe that it's because they love me. And that's just what I'm gonna that's what I'm gonna tell myself. Come on, cows! Hey! Hi, big mama. Woo! you gotta come get it. Oh, Big Mama's, she's not gonna let me feed y'all, huh? I don't know how well y'all could see that, but they didn't gallivant as much as they normally do. I'm a little disappointed. Usually they're like bucking, and yesterday Sheila, the white one, was like bucking sideways running down the hill. It was funny. What's up, Chris McCarty? Big Chris. Oh, dude, you were muddy. You were like caked in some mud. You probably enjoy that. Look at all the rooting that he has done. I didn't need the tractor tiller over here, that's for sure. That is crazy, man. He has really tilled this area up. Mr. Chris McCarty! Dude, you've made some holes. Look at that. He's dug holes all around here. I need to move his house because he's definitely created a hole under there, and I kind of want to move this house down the line and get him to start working over on this side of the future garden bed. That's what this is, guys. This is a future garden bed. We have our garden right here currently. Now, don't scream at me because it's super weedy. We got poke salad growing up in here and just a lot of grass and whatnot. So I'm not super happy about it, but the squash and pumpkins are still like growing pretty well. But whenever he is done here in this area, maybe once he gets this or gets that side to look more like this side, I'll move him and we'll kind of bring the tractor in here and kind of straighten it up. Quit eating me, Chris. Get some fall stuff planted here. It's the same with the area where the other pigs were a couple weeks ago and where the chickens are now. That area is also going to become a little garden. Hey, cows. Look, she is gonna follow me over here to the gate, kind of get mad at me because she wants more, or she's gonna cough. We got a bit of a project today. I need to go create the new cow paddock for these ladies for their new little pasture. I've been keeping them in about 3/4 acres of pasture every 3 to 4 days, or until I see the grass get really low. For this week's paddock, I think I'm gonna go from right here straight back to the front gate, and they'll have all of this area behind me here. I do have a goal eventually. Right now we're having to just string a strand of polywire all the way back around to wherever the energizer's at, wherever the best place I can put an energizer. And I'm having to make a big loop so that I can energize both sides at the same time. So I typically have to run the polywire. I would have to run it all the way around the perimeter fencing and back down. But we do have this line of polywire that at least runs the perimeter on these two sides. The problem is that it doesn't really make it back over to the house. So I have a planned project to fix our perimeter fencing and get the perimeter fencing electrified all the way around. That way I can just use 2 polywire lines and kind of leapfrog them over one another to make my paddocks. One thing I'm kind of refraining from doing right now is doing anything permanent. I don't really want to drive T-post except for the perimeter. I don't really want to do high tensile or anything like that except for the perimeter, because I got no clue what I'm going to want to do next season or even in a couple months. So I really don't even know what I want to do next week or the next paddock over. So I have a pattern right now where I'm doing 3/4 to an acre, just rotating around here, around the pond. Pond is right there. So I'm kind of flowing with that. And I've mentioned a few times that I'm using Google Earth Pro to kind of map out my homestead and map out our animal rotations, and it's coming in pretty handy. And for my pig paddocks, I really do like it for the pig paddocks, because I'm able to put notes in there about how long they were in each spot, when I gave them feed, how much feed I gave them, and then kind of rationing out, getting down to the dollar science behind our homestead animals. So I don't want to do anything permanent out here, especially because I want to be able to get out here and mow every other year. Eventually, once we get everything up and running, we're going to run the cows in one field and grow hay in the other field, because we have a front pasture and a back pasture. And we'll do that. So we'll run cows in the front pasture for a season and grow hay in the other one, and then swap them for the next year. So I want to be able to come in and pull all of this fencing up so I can mow and bale hay. So thinking about how I'm going to go around the tank, I almost thought that we just do a circle around the tank, a tight circle around the tank, and make that just the common ground, and then give ourselves paddock gates off of that circle. The issue I have with that is that I don't want my cows hanging out at the tank all day, hanging out underneath all of these trees that surround it. I don't want them hanging out here all day. I want them out in the field eating. So we'll figure out something. Give me your input, guys. What do you think? What do you think are some efficient ways to rotational graze our cows on the area that we have? You have to go back and watch some other videos. Maybe watch the farm tour where I give the overview of everything. Let me know what you think. I've been beating my head around it for the last couple weeks while we've had the cows on what I want to do. I'm just not sold on any idea, really. The other option we have is, instead of giving them a lane to get back to the barn or the water trough or anything, I'm giving them access to the pond. So I could just cut them off here. I could run a line straight across to our post that we just put it on the other side, and just give them this area along with that tree structure so they have shade to get under. That solves the equation of feed, water, and shelter. They don't really have to be able to come back to the shed. What I don't like about that is that I like them coming up to us. I like them being comfortable to come up to the barn and be around us up near the house, so that they'll be friendly. I don't want to really seclude them away from everything else, away from everything that's going on. Now my zoom's not good enough, but currently over there hanging out with Chris McCarty, just staring at each other on the fence. See, and that's why I want them to have access to come up here to the barn, is because they're getting the experience of their animals. They're getting to interact with us and the other livestock here at Fuller Farms. I think that's important. I think that's important to have a healthy herd of livestock, is that they're not secluded, they're not put away by themselves, but they get to interact with everything else. One farm interacting as one big ecosystem. See, we have the cows here. Chris McCarty is right there next to him, next to the garden. We have our feeder pigs and mama pig just right here on the back side of the barn. Now they're a little bit secluded away from everyone else, but I still say they're close enough. And then everything right next to the garden. So whenever we get to the point of having produce and stuff, having those pumpkins and squash grown up, I can throw them over here to Chris McCarty, go throw them over to the feeder pigs, I don't think that the cows would eat them, but maybe they would like to knock one around. And that's kind of where you get into the permaculture principles of farming and gardening. It's pretty cool things. We're at the point on Fuller Farms where we could go any direction. We really could. We're just starting. And the only thing we have to hold on to right now is our ideals and our desires of what we want to make, what we want to create as a farm, how we want to run our animals, what works best for us. We're kind of figuring all those things out right now. So I think what I'm going to do is grab a couple of more posts, and I'm going to leave the lane that we have coming up to the house, except I'm gonna make it just a little bit tighter to the tank so that they don't have this giant extra area that they really don't need. What's up, Sheila? Pregnant ladies. Red and Sheila are due to calve by December. By December 5th, I think, is the day. But who knows? Maybe we'll have a Christmas calf. Maybe we'll have a calf on Emmy's birthday. EJ's birthday is on the 12th, and that would be pretty cool. Y'all coming to say hi? Hi, Big Mama. He's a sweetheart, huh? Yeah. She's a sweetie. Can you guys tell how big they are? Really small cows. Aren't you? She's only 42 inches right here. Red and Sheila are a little bit bigger because they're not full Aberdeens. They're both 50% crosses, so they're a little bit bigger, but not by much. I'm gonna try something. As I mentioned earlier that we have this polywire line going around here already. Well, I don't know for a fact that it can't be energized. Like, I don't know what the state of it is. So I thought, why not just try it? Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see if this works. We do need to get a bit of a move on here though, because we're starting to lose daylight. Wow, I'm getting my steps in today. What am I at now? So all day long, from the time I got out of bed this morning until right now, I'm at 11,129 steps. It's a lot of steps for a, what is today? Tuesday? So I'm still getting 2.5 before we hit any of this. And I'm even getting 2.5 on this back line with all of the overgrowth. That's interesting. You know what, it could be my tie off that I did down here. I'm sure that could probably be a good reason. Let's check. So right here, before it's tied off, look at that, I'm getting 2.5 there. And nothing right there. So my issue is right there. What can I do to fix that? The problem is that I'm so far away from the Energizer to get it turned off, because I'm not walking all the way back there and coming back. That ain't gonna happen tonight. No way, Jose. All right, you know what? I'm gonna call it. The ladies, because now it's even too dark to move my line back over there. So yeah, I'm gonna call it. The ladies are gonna get stuck in their current paddock for one more day. Luckily, they have 2 more days that they could stay here. They still have plenty of grass over here to do some munching on. So I'm not that worried about it. I was trying to get this stuff set up tonight or today for them being moved tomorrow. But I guess I'll just have to get it set up tomorrow for them to be moved tomorrow. We're just trying to get ahead of the game here. Okay. Just gotta stay out here so that I don't have a light. Oh, are you kidding me? I say that in a good way, guys. I think that tonight, all of our birds have put themselves up. No one's straggling, are you? Awesome. That's our first time in a week of having the golden girls out here in the chickshaw. I'm sorry you can't see me, guys. That's the first week of us having the golden girls out here in the chickshaw that I have not had to scoop some up and put them into the coop. They're learning. That's great. Now if they'll just quit being freeloaders and give us some eggs, and I think we'll be set. Okay, calling it a night, guys. We almost got done with all of our projects, but not quite. That's how it always is. We'll see you on the next one.